It's Wildman Russ here, and everybody these days talks about how good subject recognition and the AF system is of modern cameras, but I often go back to old school, you'll see on the screen here, and use single point AF. In my view, it's still one of the most useful tools in wildlife photography. Watch this video to see when I use it, and importantly, when I don't. Now, everything I tell you, as always, is from my 25 years of pro experience. Actually, 26 years now, all right? Modern camera systems are amazing. They allow us to get us pictures with the subject recognition and the AF detection and everything that we could only have ever dreamt of, okay, before. But there are times when you need to take control yourself, get the autofocus down to a single point and use it. And here's a few examples. First one's going to show you a couple of tigers here. You can see this one slightly to the left. It's a tiger I call Pretty Boy. I had to get through all of this foliage to get this amazing eye, this amazing atmospheric image. There's no way I could use all the AF points. It just wouldn't get the eye. I need the eye razor sharp, okay? I'm shooting at f4, so I want to make sure that it's sharp and everything else isn't. So small point, direct on it, joystick to move it, boom. Beautiful picture. Look at this tiger. This was shot just a few months ago. Same principle. It's off center. I've got the eye looking through a ton of grass. As wildlife photographers, we often find this. Often the animal is not sitting there perfectly. It's looking through grass at us. It's a little bit shy. It's a great picture, okay? You can either turn the autofocus off, manually focus it, okay, use the DMF to get it, or better still, single point, be selective, get it right over the eye, boom, really, really amazing picture. Now look at this one. I'm just going to move it on the screen here, so I'm talking about the right one. Look at this one, a geezer, the black leopard. Again, I wanted to get the eye, very difficult shot to get, looking through tons of foliage. You would never normally try a shot like this, but it's so atmospheric, and the only way to get it is single point AF. Okay, so single point again, move it where you want, over the eye, press the focus, boom, boom, boom. Now you may have to press the focus a bit and move around, duck and dive, we call it in Cockney, duck and dive a bit, okay, to get the focus exact, but that's what you have to do. You have to work a bit as a photographer. Now bird lovers, plenty of stuff for you as well on single point AF. Often we're looking for a load of foliage to get to our quarry. Here is this beautiful firecrest singing. Very shy bird. It was quite a little way away from me and had to zoom through a lot of foliage. And of course, me hiding behind foliage is also good because it doesn't scare it. To zoom through, got single point, duck and dived a bit, got the point on it, absolutely beautiful. And the thing is, blurring all this foliage, okay, helps you really, really frame the image and concentrate on the subject. It removes all of the clutter around it. Here's an amazing brown fish owl. You can see, I literally had these two trunks of trees to look through. Yes, maybe the subject recognition could have got it, but I didn't trust it. I didn't have the time to do it. So I managed to get the position, put the single point right on the eye, boom, 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 really beautiful frame shot. So you can see there from the first batch of examples that it's about zooming through vegetation, going through vegetation to get that AF point exact where you couldn't otherwise. Now, before I go on to the second time I use it, which is called precision, I just want to remind the wild bunchers that you have your own special version of this where I will go through the technical details of these pictures, the settings, composition and stuff. So have a look on your feed. You get an ad-free version of this video with your bonus content on the end. And remember everyone, if you want to come and join us, as many of you have, we have a really amazing community where I pass on all my knowledge and everyone is inspired and everyone is decent. Safe space for everyone too. So we don't care about what level you are, what gear you have, everyone is friendly. Link below. So there's my quick ad. Come and join us. All right, precision. I use single point when I want to be precise, when I need to get to be sure I've got something exactly as I want it. Look at this elephant. Baby elephant calf with a mother's trunk around it. I saw the picture straight away. Okay, I had it on a wide setting because I was doing something else. It couldn't get it at all. It focused on the trunk, of course, because it's much more, you can notice the color palette here is quite diffuse, okay? There's no real contrast there. So I got down to the single point, boom, right in the middle, right there, right on the eye. Lovely composition, lovely framing, lovely picture. Here's a marine iguana from Galapagos. I almost said Galapagos then, Galapagos. I want it to be very precise on the eye there. Okay, I want it to have this really strong, striking composition, but the eye must be in focus with this. I don't want everything else in focus, just the eye. Okay, I do this a lot with chameleons as well. So therefore I got the focus on the eye, again, using this single point. Okay, so you can see single point quite useful. Just moving my screen up. Now, this bar now peeking out, there's no way that the subject detector is going to get this. It's too small in the frame. There's too many other distracting elements. So I got the single point on, okay? As soon as the bar nail poked its head out, I moved the joystick over it, or you can just move the camera around, whatever you've got. Boom, it got it straight away, okay? Single point there, fantastic. Now, being selective, here's a king penguin walking through a colony on South Georgia, okay? I wanted to get that single bird. Now, subject detect would probably do it, but if another bird in the foreground put its head up, it will go onto that straight away, okay? Depending on your settings. So it's a lot easier to pick the bird that you want out in a group, okay? And I use single point AF for groups an awful lot to show some isolation. So here's another one, unusual for me, this one. This is a train. I love shooting trains and steam trains and old vintage shots. And this was a lady who was just leaning out. I love the selective focus here. So I got a very small focus point again on her, so I could get her absolutely razor sharp at 2.8 with the vanishing perspective at the front and certainly back with the train. I think it works very, very well, and again, only achievable with single AF. Here's a recent one again with single AF. You know, this tiger was lit really beautifully with all the surroundings not, but it's quite a distracting picture. There's lots of things that the autofocus could get on. So once again, switch it down, single point, joystick, get it over it, or move the camera. You know, if you're hand holding, it's easy just to keep the point in the middle and move the camera, maybe zoom back to change the composition a bit. Boom, you get it right on the eye, you get it nice and accurate, and you guarantee you're going to get the shot. Yeah, you could use subject detect or recognition or whatever you call it, but you might not get the shot, and by the time that you change it, the shot's gone. So it's much better to say, right, that's it, it's not going to work. Boom, I'm going to get the single point, get it over it. Boom, boom, boom. So the final point I'm going to talk about very quickly is difficult AF conditions where the AF is going to struggle. Remember, you have to help it. You know, if you just put the camera on auto and walk around 100% of the time, you are going to miss a good percentage of pictures, okay? You still have to work with these cameras to get the pictures you want. Here's an otter. It was feeding on a waterfall. It's a long project that I did on otters for 2020 Vision, which I love working for. But very, very distracting picture. You got the otter dark in the water and lots of bright stuff behind. Common thing that we have as wildlife photographers, right? You know, grizzly bear in the water, bright behind, dark subject. It's just the way it is. So rather than trusting the AF system to do it, it will do it a lot of the time. But if it doesn't, you miss the shot. I will quickly get single point, get it over where I want. There you go. I can check. And if you've got subject detect on, it will hold the eye. You know, providing you've got it on, okay, it will hold the eye where you move it in the frame so you can recompose. Here's a black grouse in a snowstorm. Nightmare condition for AF. No AF system, doesn't matter what camera you've used, every AF system struggles in this because there's a lot of things to focus on, and sometimes you've got snow in front of the subject so it can't really see it, can't see the eye, etc. Straight down, all of these pictures that I did on this day, which was the most amazing blizzard ever, were all with a single point, because a single point cut through everything. I managed to get it on the head and hold it with the subject detect, would hold it in place. Boom, I got a lovely picture there of the snowfall. Now look at this torrent duck. I love torrent ducks in Ecuador. They're amazing. They jump into these these rivers, fast-flowing rivers, and swim upriver. I've tried it. It doesn't work. I'm just like a flounder. But you can see it's small in the frame deliberately to show the flow of the river and the habitat it was in. Very difficult for the AF systems yet. It's a dark subject against a darkish background. Lots of other brighty bits around. So it's a really good, brighty bits, that's quite good that. So again, single point, put the joystick over it or recompose if you're hand holding it. Boom, lovely picture. Wild bunches, this is one of the ones I'm going to talk about, the technique, the exposure and everything else about. Finally, this amazing little wild boar piglet poked its head round. I was low angle. Often low angle, I will use an awful lot of the single point control. You would have seen at the start that little owl that I had, exactly the same idea. When I'm low angle, the single point gets above the grass, cuts out anything else and gets right on the eye. When the eye is sharp and you're using f4, 2.8, something like that, it's an amazing bokeh in the image. Go bokeh, whatever you call it. I call it bokeh, bokeh, who cares? Bits that are in focus and bits that are not, right? It works really, really well. So I hope that you've seen that single point AF is really, really great thing to use. Here's the times when you won't use it. So here's times when you wouldn't use it. The first one is obvious, I think, silhouette. There's no contrast on a single point. You got wherever you put the single point, there's going to be no contrast. So obviously here, you're going to get the camera to help you. You're going to select a much wider frame, let the camera sort out the subject, sort everything out, and you get an atmospheric image like this, which I absolutely love, and I can remember this when the day it happened. The second time you wouldn't use it, and the obvious time I think, is when you've got some action. A bird in flight is one against the sky. You don't need to use it. You've got the AF system there, so you select all the points like this shorted owl, brilliant one where it was actually watching me. I was watching it, and it was watching me as it flew over with its head. I think it's just really brilliant. I can't do that in my head these days. And again here, this osprey flying, you know, you're going to use the AF system, bird subject detect, subject recognition, to get it all in focus. You've no need to use the single point on that. You can if you want, but there's absolutely no need. Same for a running animal. You don't want to use a single point because very quickly you could miss the focus. It goes onto the background and it will never come back again. It will be really tough to do it. So those are simple situations when you would not use single point AF. Okay, little practical thing. Obviously on the camera, you know, I'll show you this way. You know, I tell you to set up buttons. I've got this point here and I've got single point AF there as one of my options. And I can very quickly look through the viewfinder and select it. So make sure that you've got it on a programmable button that you can reach, and do cut down all the options because there's far too many AF options. You don't need loads. I use just 6. So make sure that your single point is one of those and you can quickly and easily select it. The more you do that, the more that you will see how brilliant it is, and your picture accuracy will improve 100%. Trust me on that. So in conclusion, you know, I think the biggest mistake you can make as a wildlife photographer is to assume that one AF, grid, mode, whatever, can do everything. You have to use the best solution for every single problem that you find. We're problem solvers as wildlife photographers, and that's what we do. And I hope that I've shown you that single point AF is so useful, all right, with all the examples that I've shown, all right? So go out and try it. As always, Wild Bunchers, carry on listening for your bonus content. Links below. By the way, if you want to come on tours with me, we've just announced some links tours. We've got Black Leopard tours, Space on Antarctica, Ecuador Bird Photography Masterclass, all kinds of stuff like that on the link below. And there's the one for the Wild Bunch as well. If you want to write to me and get a gift membership free for 1 month, you can do that. All right, thanks for listening. Thanks for supporting. And thanks for helping me grow on YouTube. Get out there, get shooting, and enjoy yourself.